Hi guys, today we are looking at 100 Bullets 98, written by Brian Azzarello, illustrated by Eduardo Risso, cover by Dave Johnson. Those are the remaining Minutemen right there on the cover. So let's see how this all shakes out, huh? Hello? Hello, how are you? Still alive. You? So I should just tell you, even though we don't know for a few pages, this is one of the things they do in 100 Bullets a lot. So that is Victor Ray pointing a gun at someone. His phone is ringing. The phone says Graves, but that's not who he's actually talking to. He's talking to Dizzy. I don't know if that's because Dizzy has Graves' phone or if because Victor was, this is like previously in the past or something. But right now it is Victor talking to Dizzy, and it's Dizzy who called him and said hello first. Or maybe he called her. She's in white. She's the captions in white. So maybe he called her, right? So this is Vic talking. The same, I guess. The two of us, we made it out. Not that I had any doubt that we would. Made it out? Dizzy asks. I was on the trigger, and I got called off. Seems the trust in the Minutemen done kissed and made up. What? That don't make no sense. So that's Dizzy asking Victor. Now, someone did shoot Javier Vasco. Who was that? Seems to me that was most likely Vic, and that this is Dizzy right here. Something in the milk don't clean. You probably ain't the only one that feels that way. I've been charged to deal with the ones that do. And I ain't saying I like that neither, but life ain't ever about liking nothing. Which, I admit, I can live with. Have you been in touch with Graves? I know he's concerned. No, I only called you. So that's Dizzy talking to Vic. I'm in Miami. I don't want to know where you are. Dizzy, I appreciate the call. The war may be over, but for some fighters, that reality ain't set in yet. Stay out of my way. So yeah, look at that. There it is, Javier Vasco right there. 100 Bullets, Chapter 10. 5 rooks. 5 rooks? 5 rooks or rooked? To get rooked means to get robbed, right? To get scammed, to get suckered. Written by Brian Azzarello, illustrated by Eduardo Risso, colored by Patricia Mulville, lettered by Clem Robbins, cover by Dave Johnson, assistant editor Mark Doyle, editor Will Dennis. So Benito, sitting on the stairs, sees Megan show up. How was Omaha, Megan? Dull, Benito, comparatively. Is Augustus back yet? On his way, with Graves. And the rest of the trust? Following me. So Megan's pleased with herself, given that little smirk, that smile. Drinking champagne. Gabriel Macht is this spirit, in theaters December 25th. That was one of those movies with the all digital backgrounds. It really didn't work. Like Sky Captain and the Sin City stuff. It really didn't work. I gotta admit, you are foxy. Is that a compliment I should find offensive? You want to get politically correct? The meeting tonight? The settlement? Big mistake. Well, you should save your opinion for everyone there. I would, but I won't be. Daddy's orders. Just the 5 of you, shaking hands and burying differences on top of the bodies that fought for them. So this is interesting, right? Benito still thinks there's 5. There's only 4 left now. Javier Vasco's gone. What's going to happen tonight? They're having another summit, another meeting. Every time they have one of these meetings, people get killed. If I was a member of the trust, I'd stay as far away from these motherfuckers as I could. I'd be in Alaska. They'd have to work to get me. They'd have to send a bunch of vampires in the middle of winter. Shouldn't put that on everything, Cole. All them peppers. trying to shit out your asshole? Yeah, like everybody else. So we're here now. Ready to tell me why? Sure. See your boss. Look at that shot of Cole looking at Loop. This one right here. No, not Lono. His boss. The boss. You been out to Medici's? Nah. Lono, he kept me and Jack away. Said one face was best. Can't argue with that. His boy, though, he was aware of us. Benito, what's your read on him? He's, Lono pushed him around. Used the words he listened to. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, ain't enough. I gotta go get more. Damn, you are looking to die in the worst way. I ain't looking for... Fuck, Loop. So what's going on right there? Pollo Loco. Jack is standing up there in Florida. I remember looking at this panel, I'm like, they must be in Florida, because look at how flat that is. That's Florida, right? And sure enough, they are in Florida to see the Medicis. That's good drawing when you can tell where they are by the one panel, just how flat. Florida is flat as fuck. That's good drawing. This is such a pro book. You know, comics, I've said before that Danger Girl is the best comic I ever read, but this is second best. This is second best. That's our ride. Jack, you gotta be shitting me. A fucking coincidence? Means this has gone bad. What, we fucking lucky? Ain't no such thing. Like hope. Fucking coincidence. God damn it. Like there's a fucking God. So Cole is wound up. That's a great page right there. Something preying on your mind, Augustus. This is Graves asking Augustus in the back of that limousine, up there on the top panel of the second page. Excuse me? You look distracted. So I'm a mirror, Phil? You blame me? This isn't exactly neutral ground we're treading on. No, there isn't any of that left. So Graves down there in the bottom corner. This is actually a good scene. And look at these eyebrows. Damn. This is a really good scene. Not every scene needs to be a negotiation. And a lot of scenes in this are exposition / character building, which is just people sniping at each other and restating the obvious. Because you've got 100 books of history minus the, half a dozen that involve stories that aren't continued anymore. But you've got 100 books of history, so every scene has to have a little bit of exposition followed by a threat that needs to be negotiated or some offer that needs to be negotiated. Every scene is supposed to be life-changing or you don't need it, right? I've been rolling it over in my mind why Javier was their target. Out of us three, he made the least sense in many respects. He was an ally, one they needed. But I see the importance of having me brokering the treaty. Sure, there's a bit of egg. At the same time, it saves my face. And theirs too. So what he's saying right now is everyone at this meeting is guilty. Javier Vasco was guilty for having planned against Medici, but then he turned to partner with Medici. Anyone who moves on a member of the trust, their life is forfeit, right? That's the rule. Obedience without question, the one rule is you can't try and kill the other members of the group. And if you do, someone's going to kill you. The Minutemen are that insurance. So here's what's going on, right? Augustus who did he try to kill? He killed a few members. And so his life is forfeit. So is Javier Vasco's. And whoever had that shot, obviously it was Vic, right? Vic took that shot because Dizzy said she got called off. Didn't know why. That conversation, that phone conversation where you don't see who's talking, that was hard to follow. And remember, Dizzy was fucking around with Lono, and then Benito got her out of the trunk. Anyhow, down here at the bottom, we have Cole sneaking around with a gun, and Augustus Medici saying, and there's two. And if it was you, Phil, who was assassinated, well, who knows how the remaining Minutemen would react. Right, Joan Darcy is arriving at Benito's house. Benito is Augustus Medici's son. If Joan Darcy's there, that means Thibaut Vermeer is also there. Cole and Loop are looking for Jack, who's at the hotel room right across the street. They're not sneaking into the Medicis. They are at the hotel room right next to El Pollo Loco. And who is in there? Here we go with Augustus and Phil Graves. With you, we have them. Or so the theory goes. But I do agree. So Loop is calling Victor Ray right here, right? That's Loop's hand. Cole is opening the door. All in all, well played. That's Graves talking to Augustus Medici. And Cole walks in on Jack and Echo Memoria. Those are Echo Memoria's dangerous curves right there. And an ad. That is the worst, best place for an ad, right? Worst, best place. Really makes you turn the page, doesn't it? Echo, Cole. God damn it. Bam. Kills her while she's riding Jack. Now remember, Echo Memoria killed Branch on that bench in Atlantic City with a gunshot to the neck. And that looked like a little bullet hole, probably like a 380, one of those tiny little guns that a girl can use. And so Cole kills her, doesn't even wait for her to get off. And Jack gets up and rushes Cole, using Echo Memoria's corpse as a shield from a second shot, and presses her up against Cole, up against the wall. Give me a reason. Keeping a promise. To a guy I got kind of close with. A little guy with a lot of fucking heart. Not the kind of person you'd know, Jack. You got one? So Jack doesn't know anything about Branch, right? Why would he? But it's still fucked up to shoot a girl in the head while she's literally, stomach. So he's answering a question. Heart, right? You got any heart? You got one? Stomach. Cole, I left you alive. And he hits him in the head. Because I lost the appetite for killing. It's a rotten job. Now this is Loop stepping in, right? Well, then get your big lazy ass back in bed, nigga. Because you ain't got one. None of us do. I just got a shot from Victor Ray. Graves is sitting down. Jesus. You bust a nut when I... So, now this is gross. Cole, when Jack rushed Cole, Cole had the gun down. He had the gun down at his side. He wasn't going to shoot him again. And Jack rushed him with Echo's body. Presumably, her body is over the gun because the gun is leaking fluids. And Cole asks the question he asked. And look at that. Look at all those Green Lanterns. That's a Neil Adams Green Lantern. Down at the bottom. That's his signature. Tickets on sale now. I think that a Superman from a couple days ago was Jim Lee's. And I got it wrong. Damn it. Nervous, Tebow? I'm apprehensive. Isn't that the same thing? Beholder, beholdee. Not at all. Nerves are in the eyes and fingers. Apprehension, back of the neck. When you miss the eyes you don't have. So eyes in the back of your head, right? Why isn't Augustus here yet? Because authority always needs to make an entrance. You think he's still holding that position? Of course, clinging to it now more than ever. For all his new ideals, he finds himself the last of an old school. What he suggests, we don't dismiss, but it's our agenda we agree to and nothing less. What if he doesn't? Do you think Augustus is a smart man, Tebow? Well, that makes him what we need him to be. Is that Benito out there on the bench by the pool? A survivor. Hey, I spoke with Crete. Sorry, I'm not a good shot. Benito, you know that was a stupid thing to do. Yeah, well. Yeah, my heart was in the right place. The bullet, though, a little low. Any idea where that mad motherfucker is? Same place he's always been. Out there, Diz. Don't worry, though. Creed has this place on lockdown. He got out. He'll get back in. I promise, Benito, I won't let Lono kill you. You're working for me now? So Benito and Dizzy having a moment. I love this picture of the entire estate, right? Like that's all the places we've seen. That's where the boats, the little dock they've got. That's where Augustus feeds the crocodiles. That's their pool and, tennis courts, whatever. It's nice. That's a great shot. Here we got Jack, Loop, and Cole all working together. I'd be careful about that. I got the feeling we've been fucking played all along since day one. You mean Atlantic City? Yeah, but no, I mean, look, when the Trust decided they didn't need us anymore, and what we did then in AC, we thought that was the start, the beginning of the end, because that's the way it was presented. Actually, it started when Graves told the Trust no to the expansion job. No, Jack, not then either. There was no way Graves would have agreed to the Minutemen doing what they were asking. The Trust's borders were written in blood, from sea to shining sea. They knew they'd get a no. They fucking knew it. Not all of them, but the ones that did. What I think is that stealing another country was an excuse for stealing this one from themselves, and they used the Minutemen to do it. We were played. You think Graves was in on it? This is exposition, right? This is all those issues summed up by 3 Minutemen having a conversation while they get ready for a shootout. And Loop asked down at the bottom, you think Graves was in on it? I done enough thinking, Loop. It's time to know. What do you say, Hijack? Ba-ding, ba-ding. Now look at this. Who is this making their way in? The background story, right? There's always another story going on, cut in between. This is a motel. Someone gets out. It's on their way in. Who is this? Is it on their way to this hotel? Where is he? 2 guns? Killing people in the waiting room? Like, really? Is that because they witnessed these guys? Ba-ding, ba-ding. Victor? Not lest he lost his cell on the way here. Number's local. Yo. Wait, you told him where? So Cole and Jack in the bathroom, defenseless pretty much. I think Cole's got his gun tucked into his waistband. But Loop told them he told Vic where they were. That may have been a breach of etiquette. Maybe Vic is on his way to kill them right now. And we get Lono sitting somewhere. Lono's got this guy behind him. So that is Will Slaughter. We've seen him before. And it looks like he just walked into Lono's room. He's the guy who killed the maid and the other dude, right? Lono? And then Loop looks up. Shunny days. So Lono is messed up, right? To be continued. That's it for this one. Only 2 more left. So someone is walking into their room with 2 guns, and then we have Will Slaughter standing behind Lono. And a Dungeons & Dragons ad. All right, more tomorrow. Batman, The Dark Knight on Blu-ray, December 9th. That was 100 Bullets 98. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.